Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. It's Monday. It's the first day of the week. Shout out to everyone, all the good people of the algorithm. I am back. Yes, I am earlier than normal because I have to go to work and I'm doing more time because there's a lot of things that's going on that I explained to you. So I wanted to definitely, keep my word and come today and give you some cases and stuff before I have to go do handle business. So shout out to everyone. And I hope your weekday is going great. And I hope that the rest of your week goes great. Okay. So today is going to be shorter than normal. I do have two cases for you guys. These are old cases. And I do have one case that we're going to go over that's actually very current outside of the one that I recently talked about, the Karen Reed trial that is going on. There has not been any new updates about it. So I'm still circling back and just getting all the information together so we could talk about it later on. But there is a actual new trial that's going on today. So if y'all are interested in these type of trials, please go look at Court TV right now. It's live and it has to do with the Tampa dad that's arrested for shooting his children. Okay. This is the case between what is the guy's name? I mean, I really don't want to even say the guy's name because he's a joke, but his name is Jesse, I think. Jermaine Bass. Okay, Tampa, Florida. He shot his 5-year-old daughter and his 8-year-old son, and he's currently still fighting for his life in the hospital today. But the 5-year-old daughter has been unalive, and there is a trial going on. I think that his defense attorney is going to the point of saying that it wasn't him, that it was someone who else shot him. But there's a lot of disturbing things that's going on with that case that we're going to speak about it just a little bit today. And later on with more information, we'll go through it. Okay. And hi, Tequila. How you doing? Thank you. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. All right. So the first case that I have for you, ladies and gents, is a old one. And it's about a killer tries to frame his brother. So it seems that two actual biological brothers, they had a toxic type of relationship. One of them committed a crime, and they tried to throw their other brother under the bus. So I want us to take a look at that and see how that flies. Okay. So let me pull this up, and here we go.
Before we begin, we would like to extend our deepest sympathies to the family and loved ones of the victim in this case, Veronica Serenana. Christopher Moffat and Veronica Serenana were in a relationship for 4 turbulent years. The good times were punctuated by Chris's violent outbursts. Despite his brutality against Veronica, Chris viewed their coupling as a beautiful love story. In reality, it was far from a storybook romance. In January of 2019, 5 months before Veronica was murdered, police arrested Chris for assaulting her. She told investigators he had been physically abusive to her more than 100 times over the course of their relationship. The most common method he used for hurting her was to force her down on her back and cover her mouth and nose with his hand so she couldn't breathe. The first time he strangled her, she lost consciousness. Chris was arrested in January for the incident. That charge, however, was dismissed in April. The following day, he assaulted Veronica again. He pled guilty to felony assault and was sentenced to 3 years probation. Veronica was granted a protection order. Soon, Chris was back in jail, this time for a drug charge. When he got out on June.
So obviously, this is a clear sign when you see someone who has been in an abusive relationship with an individual and they start to make too much excuses, or it start to become the norm to have to deal with that type of abuse from a person. If this lady had said that she admitted that she has been abused, whether it's verbally or physically, by her partner over 100 times, it should not get to the point where you almost lose your life, where you decide to leave, right? And that just goes to how abuse and that type of trauma can affect someone, that they start to believe that is normal. They start to believe that they are the cause for their abuse. They start to believe all the gaslighting and manipulation tactics an abuser will use on their victim to continue to abuse them. Because 100 times, if you're saying that he did that 100 times and it took 101 for you to get the police involved, and then on top of that, it's I don't know. I don't think that the courts are taking this type of situation seriously, because he was able to get probation, and then he was able to go back, get into this woman's space again, and do the same thing. The simple fact that he got arrested, went to jail, they put him on probation, and then he felt comfortable enough to strangle her again right after getting out. That tells you a lot, that those laws or the steps that they're taking needs to be reevaluated a little bit more, because he should not be that comfortable after getting a consequence for him to go back and do that type of behavior again to this lady. So I really do believe that we do need to start focusing on it and really put in harsher punishments on these individuals who are getting caught out there being abusive, being stalking people, harassing prior partners or even family members, right? And sometimes you don't even have to be a family member. You could be a complete stranger and they do these things. So I think that we need to start taking these things seriously. But let's go on.
June the 12th, he reached out to his old flame, Veronica, again, undeterred by her protection order. He had nowhere to go, so Veronica rented a series of hotel rooms for Chris in the communities outside of Denver, including Thornton and Brighton. Veronica was kind and generous to Chris in his time of need, but she would pay a deadly price for that compassion. Hotel security video from the afternoon of June the 17th shows one of the last times Veronica was seen alive. She is paying for the room while Chris walks by wearing a white collared shirt and a gray t-shirt layered over it. The t-shirt had the words "Serial Tillers" printed on the back. On the afternoon of June the 18th, Veronica visited Chris at his hotel. They picked up Chinese food and a six-pack of beer for an hour-long picnic at scenic Lake Dillon. But there was a dark cloud hanging over them that day. Chris started to suspect that Veronica and his brother had been hooking up while he was in jail. He was hurt and angry. Chris wanted Veronica all to himself. He tried to convince her to skip town with him, to run away and start fresh. He was still on probation, living under the terms and conditions required, but he told her that he was willing to go on the lam to be with her. Veronica refused his offer. Chris lost control of his temper again. Only this time he couldn't or wouldn't stop himself before it was too late. Veronica would never take another breath. The medical examiner later determined that she died from manual strangulation. Veronica was just 38 years old. Her two sons from a previous relationship were left to grieve their mother's untimely passing. Chris knew that he was in deep trouble, worse than he had ever faced before. He started to
Let's see. Shout out to Sunny Sanchez. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. Hey, young Riaz. Shout out to you, sir. Thank you for stopping by. I truly appreciate you. Now, this is really sad. Like, rest in peace to this lady, right? Because a lot of people will say, well, she kept on going back to him. She kept on, letting him in her life. She asked for that, right? No, she did not ask for that, right? Like, I think that we like to confuse the simple fact that a person wanting to be loved, and even if the person that they love is a shitty human being, they never ask to be abused, right? But see, that's what most people do. They tend to gaslight the whole situation in totality. There's something about him that she was looking for, that she wanted to be loved. She never wanted to be abused. She never asked to be abused, right? Because if she did ask to be abused, then when she almost lost her life, I don't know, the 100th time, she would not have been calling the cops, right? The self-preservation would not have kicked in if she wanted to be abused. And then I'm wondering, like, was her family, right? Like, why wasn't her family involved more? Why didn't feel that she can go to her family and talk about this and be like, hey, listen, you know, I understand you're full of emotions. I understand that you're trying to hold on to this person that you thought you knew and that you thought you loved in the beginning. But if this person is showing you a different side of them that is not what you signed up for, you have to make the decision of leaving them alone. I'm wondering about that, right? Because there's been too many times where she has went back, and then you could tell that she wasn't really how can I put it? She was not like she didn't really like that she chose to continue to be with him. It seemed like she was trying to like still hide it, right? And because she knew on the outside looking in, it would not be acceptable to her family, it would not be acceptable to her friends or people who really love her, but it's something that she really wanted. So that's why she went behind the scenes and went to hotels and still was helping him, even though he strangled her, prior, because she knew that she would get shamed for it in a society, environment. People would be like, listen, all this information you know about this guy, and you still going back to this guy, or you still have feelings for this guy, you still worrying about his well-being. She know that people is not going to understand that. And now look what happened. Unfortunately, uh she gave this man too many chances, and it was too many chances too late, because he actually followed through with what he was doing, and now she's no longer here, and now she has two children who don't have their mom. You can no longer be a mom and you love on them, support them, and help them grow up, or even see them grow up, really, because of this situation. And I think it's really sad. But now we have this guy who fully went through it. He was already on probation for trying to unalive her, and now he actually have unalived her. So now he knows he's in big trouble. So let's see what other steps he took after he realized that he went too far, and now now it's time to deal with the actual consequences of his behavior.
Form a harebrained plan, a desperate attempt to escape the consequences of what he had done. He decided to set up his brother, Frank Moffat, who went by Kelly, to be the unwitting scapegoat. He would try to convince investigators that Kelly had killed Veronica in a jealous rage. Chris later told police that Kelly had bullied him since he was a child, beating him up and picking on him. What he didn't admit to police was that this frame-up was his chance to get even, both to settle old grievances and for the recent betrayal with Veronica. The story Chris fabricated for detectives is that he dropped Veronica off at his brother's house around midnight on June the 18th, and that he reluctantly but peacefully accepted her decision to be with Kelly. That evening, text messages were sent from Veronica's cell to Kelly's. In an affidavit connected to the case, investigators implied Chris may have sent those texts. Chris was spotted on a security camera loitering around Kelly's house around 1:30 in the morning on June the 19th, but Veronica was nowhere to be seen. Kelly lived in Arvada, a suburb about 12 miles northwest of Denver.
And before we continue on, I just think that like I said, these people are very irrational when you start to dissect their thinking when they do these type of behaviors, because you try to set up your brother as the one who unalived this woman, but the cops know that you've been in a relationship with this woman for a while, and there's actual criminal record that you have assaulted this woman, that you have tried to strangle this woman, right? You have even gotten a felony assault because you tried to strangle this woman. You have more motive and more intent to unalive this woman than your brother do. But in your mind, you believe that they're supposed to think that your brother had this motive to unalive this woman. And even if they did think that your brother might have a motive to unalive this woman, why do you think that that still doesn't fall back on you, right? The simple fact is that that's a triangle type of situation, and we don't even know if it's true or not, right? We don't even know that he was thinking in his head that his brother wanted to get with his girl, and that would make him enraged, a fit of rage. We don't There's no signs that they were actually together or actually even talking in that way, right? So that can all just be within his own psyche. So it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Like, to frame your brother, though. To frame your brother. Oh, hi, Black Pill. How you doing? Okay, look up bikini arrest. I will. Thank you very much. But this is crazy. And then to get caught on camera, and then to act like nobody can see you, nobody know that's you. Let's go on.
Later that morning, Chris returned to his brother's home, this time to plant evidence. In this video, Chris can be seen hanging Veronica's purse on the dog gate at Kelly's door. Kelly and his housemates found that purse the next morning but didn't know that Veronica was lying dead nearby. The next step in Chris's scheme to frame Kelly was placing a 911 call to report there had been suspicious activity and a disturbance the previous night at Kelly's house. About 20 minutes later, another 911 call came in from the Rising Church, located a few miles away. An employee there told the operator that a man matching Chris's description had walked into the church claiming his brother had killed his girlfriend and stashed the body in his car. Police descended on the scene of Kelly's home to search for the vehicle. They found the white Ford Escort parked near his home. Veronica's body was in the back seat, hidden under garbage bags and a rolled-up carpet destined for the dump. Kelly later told police he had loaded the broken-down beater with the trash because he knew it was going to be towed away. Based on the 911 calls, police moved in to arrest Frank Kelly Moffat. He didn't get a friendly knock on the door. Given the corpse in his car, his arrest was handled with caution. He was treated as a dangerous suspect. First, the officers fired flashbang grenades to attract attention, then loudly commanded him to exit the home.
Urbana PD! Make yourself known! Urbana PD, make yourself known! All occupants of 6431, this is the Urbana Police Department! Keep coming.
Yo, what's going on, man?
Keep coming. Who else is inside with you?
I don't know who else is in there.
Keep coming. Keep your hands up. Walk. Turn around. Face the other way. Back up towards me until I tell you to stop.
Right now?
Keep walking towards me
Okay.
until I tell you to stop.
Okay.
Keep walking. Keep walking. Drop to your knee. Keep walking. A little more. A little more. A little more. Keep walking.
What's going on?
Stop right there. Get on your knees. Cross your legs. Hands in the air. No. Keep your hands in the air.
As police arrested and questioned his brother for murder, Chris used his downtime to lay more groundwork for the Kelly setup. He drove around the area, stopping at libraries to email lovelorn messages to Veronica, begging her to run away with him to give the impression that he believed she was still alive. He didn't own a phone, but he called from places that he stopped at along the way, including a casino. He detailed some of his movements in a police interview.
And then the next morning I got up. I went a few places in town, over to a library, and then I headed out of town. And I stopped in Georgetown and used the library there and emailed Veronica. I tried calling her one other time. I stopped in.
Just think how insane he is, right? Like, he put Veronica's body in his brother's car, put a purse around the door of his brother's house, and then he was the one who called it in. And then he went around town texting and leaving calls on Veronica's phone call to make it seem like he was worried about her whereabouts. Like, that's a lot of strategy and effort. And I hope that they have him on first-degree murder, because this, not only did he well intend to unalive this woman, he had all the works in place to make his brother go to jail for capital murder. is really truly insane. And just to even hear how he's lying to the police, and he's trying to make up more stories about his whereabouts and how he was so concerned about this lady, and they have him all on camera in the middle of the night at his brother's house, putting things here, putting things there. Let's go on. That's brotherly love for you, huh?
Frisco, I think I emailed her from the library in Frisco, and maybe in Silverthorne. And she wouldn't answer my calls. She wouldn't answer my emails.
Detectives recovered this voicemail Chris left for Veronica.
Hey, babes. I know that we said that we weren't going to contact each other, but I just wanted to call and ask to see if maybe you'd change your mind one more time. You know, that was a really nice date that we had. You know, I understand you wanting to choose Kelly over me because he treats you better, but he just wants you to do drugs. The only reason that I ran from my problems here was to try to keep you away from drugs and him. He's a bad person. He's been bad his whole life. So, I don't know. I might try to email you. But it's never too late. Just don't go with him. Come with me. You know? Don't choose the drugs and the stuff over, you know, that's what I wanted. I wanted to get you sober. That's what everything. That's why, you know, when we had that incident, I threw your drugs in the toilet because you act like a totally different bad person. And they're bad for you, and your face doesn't look as beautiful. You know, when you quit doing them, you get better. Please, whatever you do, thanks for helping me out with the car, and as soon as I get the money to buy it, I'll send you the title. Or send me the title, and I'll send you the cash first, like we talked about. And I'll always love you, babes. I mean, babes forever. So, Kelly, I say. Bye.
Chris's explanation for why he was driving around in Veronica's car was that she felt bad about betraying him with his brother. To make amends, she turned her vehicle over to him so he could leave town. But that contradicts his own statements to police that the reason he was planning to skip probation was to support Veronica's well-being. If she wasn't willing to go, then why would he need her car to leave? Chris stated that he agreed to send Veronica $2,000 for her car when he had the money, and she would send the title in exchange. Police asked Chris to provide a timeline. He claimed he took Veronica to his brother's place in the car and dropped her off around midnight. He then drove around the mouth of the Black Rock Canyon and slept in the car. When detectives informed Chris that Veronica was the victim of a murder investigation, he faked surprised reactions.
Well, I want to talk to you, but I don't want to waive my rights.
Okay. Well, that's
Now, do that even make any sense to you? Really just think about what he said. Does that make any sense? You said that your ex-girlfriend decided to go with your brother because he treats her better, right? And that you drove her over to his house and that you have agreed that the relationship is over and that she's going to go with my brother because she feels that he treats her better and you was okay with that. But then in the same breath, you're also have these emails and these text messages and these voicemails on her phone saying, "Hey, listen, I know we're not supposed to talk. I know that, we have decided that we're not going to be together, but I still want to, convince you to change your mind. Come with me." Then he was really harping on this drug element. And I'm not saying that she was not doing any drugs, but when I'm looking at this photo of this woman, she doesn't really look like a woman who does drugs. She looked like she has vices like any regular person, probably alcohol, maybe even might even drink weed, like smoke weed, She doesn't really look like a woman who does hard drugs, right? I just feel that doesn't even make any sense. You want them to find all these messages and stuff of you saying, "Come back with me, leave my brother alone. I'll treat you better. I love you." But then you want them to also believe that you were okay to drive her to your brother's house. As in, I'm tapping out. I lost. My brother won. He got the girl, and I'm okay with it. It does not make sense. But let's go on.
It's your choice. I can't. I'm gonna be honest with you. We're here to talk to you because Veronica's dead.
We just want to chat about it now. What fucking doing, dude? Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
No, we didn't drive all the way up here, just to joke with you, what I mean? We're investigating her death. And you can understand why we would want to talk to you because you're in her, obviously you were arrested tonight with her car.
Ain't that another
you made some statements to these guys here. You last saw.
Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you.
Last night, okay? So you're potentially one of the last people to see her alive, and so we're trying to figure out what happened, what's going on. I'm not accusing you of anything, but we're just, obviously we want to communicate.
What you need to do is you need to look through the fucking information. You need to go through her fucking messages.
Hey, darling,
you need to
how
go
are
through
you
the phone.
this Monday?
Go through her
Shout out
email.
to you, ma'am.
My fucking brother is a piece of shit, dude. And she's been two-timing both of us. You look into what she's been doing. And she picked my brother. She gave me $300. We went and ate dinner at Summit County. And she was giving me her car so I can run away. Because I was running for my probation. Me and her were supposed to run away together. And she chose to stay with my brother. Okay?
What's so bad that he's trying to convince the detectives that makes sense, and it does not make sense? You saying that she did all these things for you, but then she still also chose your brother, right? She gave you $300. She went to dinner with you. She gave you a car. She was trying to help you run away from your probation. Pretty much, you're on probation because you tried to kill her. You try to unalive her, right? So now this person that you try to unalive, and that's the reason why you're on probation, is going to run away with you. It does not make any sense whatsoever. And he's really, really, really trying to like pin it as it does make sense. If she's doing all this stuff for you, right? If she's doing all this stuff for you, then what, like again, like what would be the point of her even being with your brother, right? That's what I'm saying. Like if she's doing all this for you, 300 this, all this money, trying to hook you up, trying to have you run for your probation, okay, then that would make me believe her actions is that she want to be with you. So how does your brother actually gets involved in this? Because she's not doing anything, or you're not telling the detectives that she did anything that would make you believe that she actually picked the brother. It seems like that is all in your head, and you were just mad that she actually really didn't choose you and she didn't do what you want her to do. And so like I don't really think that he's not really making any sense, and he's not really understanding what he's saying. He's saying two things at the same time. She chose the brother over you, but then yet she's doing everything for you physically and financially. Doesn't make any sense. Not another said, the anger is very real. He's steaming from the inside, easily detectable. Yes, I agree, totally. Hazel said, doing good. Oh, having lunch. All right, I hear you. Enjoying this channel. Thank you. I appreciate you, ma'am. Let's go on.
But there was a huge hole in Chris's plan to frame Kelly. The same security camera that caught Chris lurking around Kelly's place the night that Veronica died also exonerated Kelly. It proved he had not left the house all evening. And although Chris said he dropped Veronica off there, she did not appear on the recording. Kelly told the detectives he believed Chris was framing him because of his relationship with Veronica, and he admitted to sleeping with her once in April. When Kelly could prove he had an ironclad alibi captured on videotape, he was released that same day. Police quickly zeroed in on Christopher Moffat as the most likely suspect. Their hunch wasn't much of a leap considering the domestic violence charges involving Veronica that were on his record. Chris tried to present himself as a reliable truth-teller, but the detectives weren't convinced.
My life might not be so savory or look so well, but I am an honest person, and I know that even talking to me, I know you gentlemen understand, I'm not full of shit. You know what I mean? I've chosen to be a good person. I'm extremely smart, and words don't stumble out of my mouth for a reason. I'm not like, you know what I mean? Because I don't have a place where I keep all my bullshit files, dude. You know what I mean? And life comes at me, unfortunately, in such a way that it's hard to make it bullshit. You know what I mean? Yeah, sure.
On June the 19th, the same day Veronica's body was found, Glenwood Springs police officers tracked down Chris. He was in Veronica's car in a Walmart parking lot. They arrested him for violating the restraining order and booked him into the Garfield County Jail. That's where two detectives from the Arvada Police Department visited Chris in the early morning on June the 20th to interrogate him about the final hours he spent with Veronica. The recent history with Chris's brother was a frequent topic of conversation.
I'm still confused. So how did you find out that her and Kelly had hooked up?
She was talking about my brother, and I knew that the way she was talking about him, that she was talking about him like they had hung out, and I asked her if she'd been fucking killed, and she told me she had been. And she told me she only did it once. But I happen to know since then that she had been doing it the whole time. She'd been telling me, look, wait till you read her messages.
So how do you know that? Like, you told me to look through the messages. So what is in the messages?
Her and Kelly hanging out all the time, as often as possible.
Okay. And how do you know that's in the phone? In the messages.
She told me that the night before, she just left, and she actually sent me an email telling me that she slept in a parking lot, but I don't know if you want to say I'm psychic or that I just know her, but I was like, bullshit. You went right to Kelly's, and then when she came back, I was like, I know you went to Kelly's last night, and she said she just denied that she did, and I said, I need you to run away with me. I need you to commit to me. Let's go get away from drugs. Let's go get away from everything.
Chris repeatedly denied killing Veronica. He even went so far as to label her a stalker who was obsessed with him.
And we had talked about not talking anymore because we're poison for each other. We can't stop. But if she...
This guy is a dingbat. 1 minute is, oh, you're telling them in the messages, you keep on saying, I love you, run away with me, leave Kelly alone, all the stuff like that. You're showing that you are a bitter ex. You're mad that your woman that you try to unalive decided to go with your brother because he treats her better. And you're adamant about running away with her, going this and that. And then now you're trying to paint her as the stalker who wanted you, who wanted the relationship. Which one is it? Like, which one is it? Does she want you or do you want her? It can't be at the same time, right? This is not happening simultaneously. You cannot 1 minute say that she is running off with your brother into the sunset and you want her to choose you, and then the next breath saying that she's the one who wants the relationship and she's the one who's continuously following me around. Sir, like, and it's like, I don't know, like, I don't even know why these detectives are entertaining him the way that they are entertaining him, but they must be getting shits and giggles out of this because he's really just keeps on regurgitating the things that he is making him feel like he is some innocent dude and he didn't do anything and he was just so much in love and this woman was a horrible person. She was a horrible person because she wanted to get away from your abuse. Like, you literally even admitted that, oh, yeah, I know y'all could check in my background that I had felony assault because I strangled her numerous of times, but I'm still a good person. And I'm not shitting on you guys. I'm not lying to you guys. I'm just a straight going person. Like, stop, sir. Just please stop. You're just making it worse for yourself. And he doesn't even realize that he's making it worse for him, because you're the one running around in a unalive person's car. You was the last person with this person. They caught you on camera putting her items at your brother's residence. You dumped her body in your brother's back trunk, right? And then, like, you got all these things. And then, like I said, the criminal background of you assaulting this woman and having to get a felony assault charge because you tried to strangle this woman more than once. You have all this evidence and you really want people to believe that you're some victim in this whole situation. It's just weird. Now, it just so happens you was just last with this woman and now she's unalive. And then they said she died from manual strangulation.
She had to choose one or the other, and she chose my brother. But you'll see, she goes in Summit County, we went and we ate dinner. She went to the ATM and got me money. She takes care of me, dude. Although she's with my brother and having sex with him, she's infatuated with me. Look through all her, she is a stalker. She's my stalker. She hacks all my emails. She calls my work, you know what I mean? She's obsessed with me. But she wanted my brother. And she wouldn't, she was saying, yeah, I want to run away with you, but I still want to stay with my brother, but she couldn't tell me she wanted to stay. And I said, I want you to be happy. I wanted to run. The only one of the biggest reasons that I ran for my probation was to keep her sober. She is beautiful when she's sober. I want my brother's done. I gave in. I was like, if that's what you want, let's just stay, but I need help. And you could tell she felt guilty. That's why she gave me the money and let me dig her car, because she felt guilty. But it was the drugs. I could tell that without drugs, my brother would have no contest with me. I could win it hands down. You know what I mean?
But that was all the same day then, right? Am I understanding you right? Okay. Do you remember what time she got up there because you said she wasn't staying there, right? So that room was for you, she bought it for you, but she wasn't staying there?
She came, I don't know exactly when it was, but she came in the afternoon.
Okay.
And she had rented the room for me. She was with me the night before until about 8 or 9, and then she took off to Denver. Like I said, where I called her a lot. I knew. Guys, I'm not going to sit here and say that I think that I'm psychic, but I think that when you're really in love with somebody, and me and Veronica are in love, and I don't want to have this. I can't believe this. I can't believe this.
So
Chris, who was 36 years old at the time he killed Veronica, told investigators that the bad blood with his brother went back a long time, way before Veronica came on the scene. It started in their childhood.
And he threatens me. He threatens me. Every time, it's either do what he says, or he'll beat shit out of me. You know what I mean? Literally. And it's been that way since I was a kid. They used to torture me when I was a kid, beat me up, give me fake dark, fucking smother me, and I was just a little boy. You know what I mean? And then they'd talk me into being on their side again and forgiving them. And I'd lie to my parents and say I was on my bike when I got hurt. You know what I mean? And it was really my brother been beating the shit out of me all day. And when you look through her messages, I guarantee my brother, I know my brother, dude. He's just user 101. He'll milk you fucking dry until you ain't got nothing left, and then still drown you after that if you let him, because he's done it to me. You know what I'm saying? He's doing it to her.
4 months after Chris went to jail, he had a surprise video visit from his younger brother, Kenny. It was so unexpected that he hadn't even thought to check the visitor log. The intersection between these two brothers was a stark contrast for the animosity Chris felt towards his older brother, Kelly. He was clearly moved to hear from his younger brother, Kenny, and thrilled that his little brother made such an effort to contact him while in custody.
Let me get a headset. Hold on, I didn't expect you to be there. Give me a second.
I can't believe you're calling. Yeah, I can't believe you're calling. I can't believe you're calling me, dude. I can't believe you're calling me.
How you doing? It's loud in there, huh?
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too, bro.
You look good, man. You look good. I like that beard.
Yeah, you look good too, bro.
Looking in.
Hey, you have no idea what it means to me. You called me.
Well, dude, I didn't even know, what was going on. I got your back, dude. Forever. I'll never quit that.
Well, I'm here to tell you, man, life's tough, brother.
Don't ever give up on nothing I got for you, bud.
Yeah, do you know what's going on with me, bro? Do you have any idea?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, well, sometime I need to write you some letters.
Yeah.
I need to I'm facing a lot of trouble.
I understand. And we need
But yeah, I mean,
you still need to keep positive and do the best you can, man. You know what I'm saying?
I am, dude.
I'm not saying
you have no idea.
I know. I just know how it could be, and I know how I'd be, man. And I'd want your help. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate it. Hey, you know, one thing I need you to do is I need you to be there.
Yeah. Well, and I've reached out. You know, and I'll definitely be there, dude.
She needs you. If I'm not gonna be there, I mean, you might as well. You know.
Oh, for sure, man. You got it.
Please.
Yep.
I wouldn't even look to see that I had a visit, man, and one of the guys came over and was like, "Hey, you got a visit," and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Well, this is the second one. I just had the phone sitting there because I already called the officer trying to get some help, seeing if I could get through to you, because they're basically saying that if you don't look for it, you're not going to get it.
Yeah, no, and I just, I'd expected to probably never talk to anybody ever again. No. I don't know.
No, don't think like that, brother, man. Don't think like that. I got your back, and I love you, dude. And you and I are brothers to the end, man, no matter what. And I got your back, and do whatever I can to help out, no matter what.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
I know, I love you, man. I love you, dude.
Fucking
Chris didn't discuss the details of his case with Kenny. He told him he couldn't talk about it because it wasn't resolved yet. Kenny said that was fine with him. One topic Chris didn't shy away from discussing was his young daughter from a previous relationship. He repeatedly begged Kenny to be a presence in her life so she wouldn't lose her connection to the Moffat side of the family. Kenny promised he would do everything he could to make sure that didn't happen.
I basically go to bed every night thinking that I'm never going to you ever again.
Yeah, well, I'll try as best I can to help bridge that gap, man. If I can, you know what I'm saying?
But you got to be there for her. I mean, you might as well. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, she needs a male role model in her life that'll tell her that she's beautiful and she's smart, and that way she doesn't have underlying issues with men when she gets older. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
And I mean, I can't believe I'm talking to you, bro.
It's the audacity, really, for him to be worrying about his own daughter probably growing up having problems with men when you literally are the example of a man that she will have to worry about. Is literally her father is one of the prime examples of men that she will have to worry about. But you're more concerned about that, but you didn't have that type of concern for Veronica. Veronica, the woman who life you took, right? She had a father too, right? She possibly had brothers too, right? Uncles and other male family members who love her. You didn't think about that when you did what you did, right? Now, I'm not saying that I'm against the little brother Kenny, trying to be a support to his brother. Listen, you can't tell people to stop loving their family members, right? Especially if that's their family members that they grew up with and their idea of how this person was and what they believe why this person might have changed. You can't stop people for doing that. But I think that it's quite funny how this guy, Chris, he leaves out to tell his younger brother that you try to set up your older brother as for murdering your ex-girlfriend, and that was you, completely you. I think that that's really weird. I think that's because you're more happy that he's showing you love and support now, but would he actually show you that type of love and support and backing if he knew that you really try to take out your older brother and have him committed for first-degree murder over your girlfriend? I think that that conversation would play out a little bit different. But this is what happens when you see people who have always been in a situation where they have manipulated and gaslighted people and expect people, no matter what they do, to ride out for them, support them no matter what. Whether if it's bad, whether if it's evil, whether if it's a murder. Hey, listen, back me up, just support me, because I need that from you. And that's what's supposed to happen due to the relationship that I have with you. It's quite sad. It really is. Let's see. LG Locke says, hi, how are you doing? Darren A said, I don't think he's really all that concerned with his daughter. He's just trying to look. Yes, I agree, Darren. I agree. If he was so concerned with taking care of his daughter, he would have been breaking the law. Absolutely. Absolutely. And also, for the simple fact is, what he broke the law about. Darren, I don't know how long you've been here, but this man strangled his girlfriend to he strangled his girlfriend to death. He have tried to strangle her 100 times before, and 101 he was arrested on felony assault from the same woman. Then he was able to convince this woman to help him out. She tried to help him out the best way possible, and when he got in her presence again, he went into a fit of rage and unalived her again. So just think about that. You're sitting up here saying, oh, I don't want her to have this type of mindset about men. Sir, what you did, what you did is literally the men that you're talking about. Like, let's go on. I just don't, sometimes the math ain't mathing, but here we go.
I thought I'd never talk to anybody ever again. I mean, you know what I mean? That's what, when I go to bed, that's what I think every night, dude.
Yeah, you don't ever want that feeling. I'll talk to you, man.
Yeah, you don't ever want that feeling. I mean, you don't even know how much this means to me, bro. This means the world, dude.
Well, it was cool to look at the phone and see your face, dude. I was about to hang up on the fucking thing because I'd already been waiting for it.
Well, I would have never looked at it.
This is the second time I've done this. This is the second time I've done this.
I never come over to this kiosk like I would have never have guessed, bro. It means the world to me.
Well,
hey, Sal, what's going on? Shout out to you. Shout out to you.
I appreciate that too.
What's the word of the day? What's the word of the day?
I don't know what he did.
I love you. I love you with all my heart and soul, Kenny.
I love you too, man. I love you too.
I'm so glad you're doing good, man. I can't even believe it.
No fucking way.
Chris and Kenny started having regular video calls from the jailhouse, and they give a glimpse into what daily life is like for inmates.
It's been kind of crazy. Last night, somebody tried to escape out of here.
Really?
Oh yeah, no, they tried to climb the cage and pry it open and get out of here.
They know where you're going.
No, yeah, they make it pretty much impossible, but you know,
the whole world like that nowadays, you wouldn't be able to do that for nobody.
Yeah, no, dude, I think dude was facing like a couple 100 years though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, yeah. Pretty crazy.
Oh, you see there, we're all locked down. They make us stay in these little rooms here. They're like little caves.
Did they change that?
Each one of these. No, all this out here is like the day room, and then these little rooms right here are 12-man caves. Yeah,
okay,
they got 12 beds in there. Yeah, And you see the dudes hanging out. We're in lockdown right now, so we can't even come out in this room unless and they letting me out because I have a visit. Otherwise, we can't even be out here in this big room right now.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's called. Yeah, and they lock us down. We're locked down at night, and then we're locked down after breakfast and after lunch and after dinner.
Because what happened over there?
Yeah, but what happened, them trying to get out of here, they locked us down all day, and that happens. Sometimes they lock the whole facility down like that.
Yeah.
But,
pretty crazy.
And then I got my beard trimmed up a little bit, otherwise I was pretty shaggy, and I don't even realize it because of the mirrors in here, you can't even barely see into them. Yeah. They're not glass. They're made out of metal, and people have been washing them, and they made them to where you can't barely see into them.
It's all it is just a polished surface.
Exactly.
You got to 10 minutes of buffing first.
Exactly. It's kind of like trying to shave into a kitchen sink. You know what I mean? You know, like looking into a kitchen sink.
You know, every now and again you can catch something.
You know, even when looking at this interaction between the middle brother and the younger brother, you know, it does sadden me because you could tell that they have a bond, and he probably didn't have a bond with the older brother, though he did say that the older brother traumatized him while they were younger, beating up on him, bullying him, and things of that sort. And it's sad because the interaction that you see between these brothers is something that you could tell that he needed while he was still growing up into manhood. And that maybe if he had that, like if this was the foundation of his relationships between all his brother, not only just the younger one, but the older one too. Um, I don't know. I'm just being hopeful that he would have had a different outcome, right? But he does have a very poor relationship when it comes down to women and how he values women life. But it just seemed like in this situation, if he had more I guess how I'll say, like, people to look up to, especially male wise, that maybe this would have been different. And I do wish that, you know, this younger brother who's able to, you know, in a hard time like this, who's able to put a smile on his face, you know, have him, you know, think about funny things, you know, even though, like I'm saying, he's a horrible individual. I'm not saying that he's not supposed to be in jail and stuff like that. I'm just looking at the interaction between them. And I can sense what was missing that he didn't hold on to, you know, and why he went the route that he went. You just wish that this would have happened before instead of past tense. You know what I'm saying? Past tense. Hey Bruce, how you doing, sir? Good to see you. Good to see you. Shout out to you. Well, let's finish this up and we will move on to the next one. It's sad, unfortunately, and they look exactly alike. Like, wow.
Right, you know, I could tell I got an orange shirt on, but that's not it.
That's about it. Yeah. That whole fucking thing.
Oh, for real. But absolutely. And then tomorrow we get commissary. Thank you for that. Everybody's running around on shots of coffee and eating honey buns. Yeah, it's a little different around here on Saturdays.
Well, and is it different than where you were at before?
Yeah, you know, there we were kind of stuck in our cell most of the day, and so you were in there by yourself or with a cellie. And here it's kind of an open environment, and so yeah, there's lots of wheeling and dealing that goes on.
Okay. Is it better or is it worse?
It's better. It's better for time and better for my mind. And you know, I'm not staring at the wall, but I'll talk to you in a couple days, brother. I love you. I'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Love you too, man.
All right.
Good to see you. Looking good, man.
The day before Thanksgiving, Chris's dad joined in on the video visit with Kenny. It was an emotional father and son moment.
Dude, I stay pretty happy in here, and you know, there's a little bit of negativity with, you know, some guys going through some tough stuff, but a lot of us guys are reading the Bible together, and you know, we got our own little cave of people. It's like about 10 people that we sleep real close to. You know, there's no cell door or anything to keep us in this big room, but we got our little caves, man, and we got a pretty good cave of guys, you know. You know, talk about God a lot and pray and try to keep things upbeat and happy, and so, you know, things go good, man.
Yeah, no, that's
absolutely
good. You gotta keep it as positive as you can. Yep, you know that.
Oh yeah, for sure. And no matter what, Dad, you know, things get tough, but don't you worry. You know, we need to be happy and you know, what time we've got and the communication that we can get into and letters and talking. You know, make sure to stay happy, Dad. You know, I love you with all my heart and soul, and I miss you all the time, and I think about you all the time, and that's really what's important. I got you.
It's a tough one. I know.
I know, Dad. Don't you worry. I wish I was there to see you, and you never know how things will work out, but you know, you're in my heart and on my mind almost 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So that's what's important. I love you.
Love you too. All right. Yeah.
In the end, Chris's plan to frame his brother fell apart because investigators didn't believe his story. Security cameras contradicted his account, and the lab results confirmed what police already suspected. Chris's DNA was found on Veronica's hands and neck. Kelly's DNA was not present. The autopsy report stated that Veronica had suffered bruising and abrasions to her lips, eyes, throat, neck, and shoulders. The cause of death was manual strangulation. Christopher Moffat pled guilty in 2021. The plea deal dropped the original charges of first-degree murder and tampering with physical evidence. Jefferson County Judge Diego Hunt sentenced Chris to 40 years in prison for second-degree murder and 15 years for tampering with a deceased human body, plus 8 years on parole. If you found this case compelling, don't forget to like the video. Comment down below your
All right. So the moral of this story is, men, you have to do better, and you have to find community with other men. Positive, healthy community with other men. If not, these unspoken things that is going on with you and how you're feeling about yourself, or how you feeling about how you're showing up in the world, is going to affect and trickle down to anybody that's in your life, your significant other, your children, you name it. And that's what I saw. I saw that whatever love and I'm proud of you and you are valuable to me that he needed from male figures in his life, he did not get that, or he felt that he didn't get that until he got up, and then now he couldn't control his anger. Now everything was the person that you were with, it's her fault that things are not going well for you. This is not the life that you wanted to live. And you started taking out your anger, your inner anger, out on her. And then what happened at the end? This is the woman that you supposedly love, and now you strangle her to death, and now you ruin your life. Now you can't even be around your own daughter, right? That you make it seem like you're so concerned about. And then you're not even with your family members, like your brothers and them. You have to try to rebuild a bond and connection with them, serving almost like 40 years in time. And he got 40 years, he got 8 years, and then he got another, I think what was another 10 years for moving the body. So when he moved the body into the brother's trunk, right? So hopefully he's serving those all of that congruently, like not consecutively, because if it's consecutively, it will be longer. But if he does it congruent, it will be at the same time. He'll serve all that time together, right? And it will count as one. But that's literally what I get from this. Like, he should have never had done that. That poor lady, God rest her soul. Prayers to her children, right? That she now has to grow up without a mom. But y'all really need to really get, as men, y'all really need to have a community of men of positivity, not negativity, not a trauma bond session of how much you hate how much you hate the world, how much you hate whatever the position you're in, and how much you hate women who don't allow you to get your way. You have to do better. You actually have to have community that's going to talk about things that is going to make you positive as a man and positive as a human. And it was just unfortunate to see how that played out, because you got to see another side of him around his father and around his younger brother. And it seemed like that was the side of him that he felt that he couldn't show to the world. He didn't feel that that was valuable, right? And now you only know him for him doing the most horrible thing possible. And, he deserves to be known for that. But yeah. I don't know what you're talking about, Venus. No, that's not a no, absolutely not. But yeah, shout out to you. All right, so the next case that I have for you guys is when a daughter secretly records a murderous Snapchat. Okay, so we're gonna look into that. This seems very interesting, and just make sure you're hitting the like button, commenting later on if you have any other cases that you want me to go over, and share this out to anybody who likes these cases and likes to talk about them together. Okay, so here we go. Hi, Joanne, darling. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Shout out to you, ma'am. Shout out to you. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you're doing well, sweetheart. Let's go on.
What the heck? There's blood all over the bedroom. It's everywhere.
Sometimes in life, people gotta take out the trash.
Please call me Red Pineapple. Mayday.
On the morning of February 23, 2022, David Christopher Nelson's sister and her husband arrived at his home, worried after days of no response to their calls or texts. Upon entering his home, they found a horrific scene, a blood-covered home, and David's lifeless body, lying on his back with abrasions, lacerations, and a slit throat. In a panic, David's brother-in-law ushered his wife outside to shield her from the scene. He called 911 to report what they had found. Within minutes, officers arrived to find David's sister in shock by their truck outside.
Hi. Okay. Just sit out here, right?
Inside, her husband stood in the doorway, seemingly speechless from the situation.
Excuse me. Jesus Christ.
The visuals of this scene are far too graphic to be showing on this platform, but we will continue to play the audio of the body cams as we describe the scene. Upon entering, officers hear a news station on the TV.
All right. This is a serious crime scene on this one, okay?
Yep. Everybody stays on, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Although it appears David's body has been there for quite some time, the officer checks for a pulse but finds none.
You guys?
1 King 13.
1 King 13.
Cancel fire in Alina. Contact CID, CSU, and ME.
Blood is found on the walls, kitchen, bedroom, and living room floor. Fresh cigarettes litter the floor in the kitchen. David's fridge, smeared with blood, displays mementos and family photos. A large blood-stained break in the drywall suggests someone was pushed into it.
There's a hole in the wall, like someone was pushed up against the wall or something. We don't see any forced entry, but definitely a suspicious death here.
An ominous sight shows a wooden cross laying on the floor.
So he would point to the hole in the wall so the cross maybe.
Hey, just wanted to keep you...
A small metal cross near a small chain is also found on the ground, possibly having been torn off David's neck.
Okay, let's be careful where we're stepping.
Yeah, I haven't moved since I got in here yet, so he definitely got his throat cut.
We need to clear the rest of the residence, though. Yeah. Make sure there's no one else in here.
Okay. Anybody here?
What the heck? What the heck?
King 13. Rest of the residence is clear.
There's blood all over the back bedroom. There's like a bloody... It's everywhere. It's all over his bed. There's blood all in the back bedroom. It looks like he was in bed. Maybe discharged. There's footprints all over too.
Near David's body lies a hammer, which was clearly used as the murder weapon.
They got a hammer.
You guys just want to have a seat in your car and stay warm, okay? Maybe talk to some neighbors.
Detectives quickly got to work. Near David's body, they found a cell phone belonging to his neighbor, John Joseph Hare, known as JJ. This evidence linked JJ to the crime, raising questions about the timeline, JJ's involvement, and his current whereabouts. Clues from the cell phone led detectives to piece together the story, resulting in a 1,000-mile manhunt for the murder suspect. Through investigation, they retraced JJ's steps to develop this story. 3 days earlier, on February 20th, 2022, David had one of his two sisters over for a visit. Meanwhile, JJ and his friend Gail were out drinking. Court transcripts quoting Gail share that JJ consumed around 5 Jack and Cokes and 3 or 4 shots of schnapps. By 5 o'clock at night, they were ready to head home, with Gail hopefully driving as the designated driver. Fortunately, the pair lived in the same trailer park where David also happened to live, so the drive was short. Gail dropped JJ off and then went to his own home. Shortly after, David's sister leaves her brother's home for the night. But this wouldn't be the last time someone would see David alive. The next moments are truly known only to JJ and David. Around 9 o'clock that night, JJ entered David's home, and a fight ensued, leading to the scene described earlier. Forensics indicate the bloody struggle started in David's bedroom and moved towards the front door. The cause of the altercation is unknown, though we will discuss theories mentioned in court later. Overpowering David must not have been too difficult for JJ, who at 42 was 20 years younger and more physically fit due to his job as a maintenance worker. On the other hand, David's family and court documents share that he was a chronic alcoholic for 25 years and had undergone brain surgery, resulting in a valve being placed on his head, which had to be regularly drained. Records show David had also been hospitalized recently due to intoxication and suicidal thoughts. Likely realizing he went too far, JJ panicked and called his teenage daughters who lived. One of his daughters answers in disbelief. JJ, her absent father, says he needs help urgently. Don't let their laughter distract you. By keeping their manner relaxed, the girls were able to allow a key murder suspect to continue talking. Additionally, they listened to their gut and began recording their conversation without JJ's knowledge. These recordings would ultimately be crucial exhibits for the prosecution at trial.
Okay.
It's 443. Please call the number and tell that person to come here now.
Okay.
I'm not playing. And I love you, alright?
I love you too. Do you want me to call them?
Absolutely.
What the f? Call it. Just call it. Just call it.
Her name is Heidi.
Okay.
You tell her to get here right now. You tell her it's important and to hurry up, please. I'm not playing.
Alright, I texted them.
Can you text her 911?
Alright, I did.
Look, she is going to be scared, and trust me, she's tripping. I can't talk about this. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of your sister.
Well, your friend didn't answer.
Of course not. She's not a friend.
Oh.
She's someone I love.
Oh. I'm sorry for that. That's so bad. Alright, guys.
Hey, do you know how to sign?
Yeah.
Can you well, not your name, Ding Dong.
Oh.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm a little bit confused. I'm still not understanding what was his motive of doing that to the guy, right? If you went out to go get a couple of drinks and something like that, you sent your friend home, the guy sent his sister home, what started the altercation to begin with, right? And then obviously you didn't really care about getting caught. You dropped your cell phone, you left your cell phone there next to the unalived body, right? And then you now call your stepdaughters, your children, the one that you're supposed to protect. Here you are calling them, putting them into this situation. So where is the protection for the kids, right? It's just weird. I'm still trying to figure out what was the motive. Did you do it just because you was drunk and then you got in an argument and then it went left? Like, was it self-defense? Like, those are the things I would want to know. But like, it's really not pinning together to me why this even started to begin with. And then I just don't appreciate that he's getting these girls involved. But luckily these girls, they're smart. They recorded everything, especially if they're going to be put involved. They should, have something to cover themselves to let them know that they weren't, they were brought into this, that they wasn't a part of this situation. This is just crazy. Yeah, exactly, Hazel. Why get kids involved with that? That's insane. Like, apparently you want them to call this girlfriend or the significant other who, because she's supposed to hold you down, but here she is not even answering the phone calls, right? I just, like, right now it's just driving me insane how everything is transpiring, but let's go on.
Sign language.
Oh, no.
Of course not. Alright, so I'm gonna show you this, alright? That's how you say I love you.
Why does this matter, bro? I don't get it. I'm sorry, I'm so dead. I'm sorry.
So it's ILOVEY.
Absolutely.
Sorry for laughing. I had no clue.
I know. That's not a gang sign.
Oh God, I've never seen something like this. Of course you don't know how to sign. What?
God damn it.
Not your damn dumbass.
Don't be like me.
I won't. He knows everything but still tells me.
Due to the girls recording on Snapchat, they were limited to filming for 1 minute at a time. During a break in between recording, JJ seems to have informed them that somebody was gone, piquing their curiosity.
I know that I love you both.
Can I know who's gone?
Absolutely not.
Why?
Because they're a bad person. And it's not me. Sometimes in life, people gotta take out the trash. And I want you to know I love you both, alright?
Joanne said, why are they laughing? They're young, right? But they're also, in a way, by them laughing and acting all giddy, like how they always think young girls are. They're just some little bubblehead giddy girls that's not really paying attention to everything, and they're too self-centered. These girls are strategically enough to keep this guy online and get more information and detail about what's going on, even to the point to try to find out who is now no longer with us, right? Because you're telling them to go out there and send bat signals to your significant other and all these other people who are so it's such a coincidence that they're no longer answering the phone, even though you was with that girl like 4 hours ago. I think that that's crazy. But yeah, that's the reason necessarily why they're laughing. I just think that they like, yo, what the hell? Like, they're young. They're like, what the hell? What are you calling me for? Like, what is this going on? That's why they're laughing. But it's sad all the way around, really, because it's like you could see how this guy is trying to manipulate his stepdaughters, and you're literally involving them in a crime. So it's like, we talk about people caring about their children, caring about, their community. We talk about these things all the time. And what it looks like to be a protector and a provider. Is this man protecting these girls? Inquiring minds want to know, do you consider this protection? Because to me, it seems like he's manipulating these girls for them to protect him, right? I love you. I just want to let you know I love you. I love you guys. I love you so much. I'm so proud of you and your sister. All that manipulation and gaslighting, literally pulling on their heartstrings of what they might have for you to help benefit yourself. But we talk about protection and provision all the freaking time. Yeah. Hazel said, I think it's a nervous laugh. I wouldn't know what to do at that age if my dad told me. Yeah, I mean, like, it could be a nervous laugh. I agree. And it's crazy. Like, you hear someone that, that you love and and you spent time with, and they just come out and they tell you something like that. You like, at first you're like, is he joking? Is he playing around? This can't be real. This can't be serious. But nonetheless, something told them to record this. Something told them to record this and to protect themselves, which is smart. So they're not some giddy little girls as much as, people like to, play them out to be. Let's go on.
All right.
I'm proud of you. This is very, very important.
Not TikTok, Snapchat. Snapchat.
God damn it.
Heidi, JJ's former lover as he described, testified in court that she had just broken up with him during that time. She explained she hadn't checked her phone while she was at work, causing a delay in her response. JJ, likely looking for urgency, called her directly and left her multiple voice messages.
Call me back, please. This is very, very important. I do need your help. Please call
received at 10:01 p.m.
When asked about JJ's code words in the messages, Heidi revealed in court that he affectionately called her Red, and they had an inside term from their relationship, pineapple. Heidi explained that pineapple was their safe word to diffuse heated arguments instead of letting them escalate. She noted it was strange he used them in a combined phrase. JJ would leave 3 more voice messages, time-stamped at 10:10, 10:11, and 10:15 of that night.
10:10 p.m.
Hey, can you call me back as soon as possible? It's pretty important. Like, right now, please. Red pineapple, like right now, red pineapple. I mean this. From the bottom of my heart, red pineapple, please.
Shout out to my brother, No Cap Freezy. How you doing, sir? Shout out to you. Shout out to you. I always appreciate you, and I'm having a great day, a great Monday, and I hope you're having a great day too, bro. I really do appreciate you, and thank you so much for sharing out. Like, everybody, please go and look at my bro No Cap Freezy's channel and live stream. He do great commentary. You'll really enjoy it with different topics. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. Oh, that's why he used the girls. Yeah, exactly, Hazel. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, red pineapple. But she doesn't even understand it because when they use those codes for each other, it meant certain things. And then now he's added them together. That's kind of weird too. But let's see what else they have to say.
10:11 p.m.
Hey, you call me, I swear to God. You call me. I need your help right now. Call me. Mayday, mayday, mayday. Red pineapple. What the fuck, dude? Call me. I swear to God. I've got a red pineapple right here in front of me. Red pineapple.
10:15 p.m.
Hey, Red, look, I need your help. It's really important. Please call me. I don't know how to save this person. I don't know what to do, Mark. Damn. Heidi, this person is not doing good. Please call me. He tried to commit suicide. I don't know what to do. Yeah, you did, you bastard. Hey, please call me. This guy's fucking... What the f*** wrong with you, dude? Why would you do that? And why would you even call me to help you? You're fucking tripping, man. Why would you do this to yourself?
Upon hearing the last message, Heidi went to David's house unsure of what she would find. Inside, she discovered JJ shirtless and covered in blood, with David laying on the floor, beaten but alive. JJ claimed he was trying to stop David from committing suicide, but according to Heidi's testimony, David denied this accusation and exclaimed, "No, I didn't. You kicked my ass," accusing JJ of assaulting him. The voicemail JJ left for Heidi appears to support David's version of events. When prosecutors asked Heidi how JJ was handling the situation in that moment, Heidi said, quote, "He was watching me. It was a weird look, I guess. I don't really necessarily know how to describe it, but it was like he was watching my reaction or something. I don't know how to put it into words, I should say." Heidi recounted that after giving David a glass of water, she accidentally stepped on a hammer. Realizing the gravity of the situation, she grabbed her jacket and at a steadily increased pace, walked out the door and then ran to her car, only for JJ to chase after her. Having hit the unlock button on her key fob too many times, JJ invited himself into the passenger seat of her vehicle. Feeling trapped, she drove JJ to his home out of fear for her safety. Upon arrival, JJ refused to leave the car until Heidi turned it off and got out herself. JJ asked Heidi to help clean off his blood, but she declined. Intimidated, she started the shower for him. During these moments, JJ muttered, "Pedophile," possibly trying to justify his actions against David, although no evidence supported such accusations. While JJ was in the shower, Heidi tried to leave, but he jumped out of the shower soaking wet and barred her from leaving. She explained she was only getting water from the kitchen and convinced JJ she was not trying to escape. When JJ returned to the shower, Heidi seized the chance to flee to her car. As she left, she shares in court testimony that she saw JJ standing in his doorway, watching her drive off. While driving away, Heidi received a call from her boyfriend Jason. She told him about the incident and expressed fear that JJ knew where she lived. Jason arranged for them to stay at a friend's house that night to avoid JJ. Unfortunately, Heidi did not call 911 that night. In testimony, she said she was too scared to do so, and so for the following days, it would appear that no one, outside of whoever else JJ may have informed, knew about David laying on the floor of his home. The next day, after failing to get in contact with Heidi, JJ met with an estranged mother of his child in Minnesota. To be clear, this is a different estranged woman than the one who lives with his teenage daughters in Nevada. In court transcripts, she shares that she met up with him after he lied about needing to go to the hospital under the guise of chest pains. He was apparently in an emotionally distraught state, and she was under the impression a suicide was involved, and was not aware of what JJ had actually done. JJ, his baby mama, and their toddler-aged daughter all ate at a local pizza joint named Sammy's before she dropped him off. It would appear he spent the day without informing anyone else about David. Shortly after, JJ fled over 1,200 miles away from the crime scene to Nevada. He called his ex-girlfriend, the one who is the mother of his teenage daughters who lived in Las Vegas, asking for a pickup at the airport. Due to a long-standing estrangement of roughly 6 years and a recent dispute with one of their daughters, she is quoted in transcripts telling him, "Abso-effing-lutely not." JJ then reportedly called an immediate family member in Las Vegas for transportation, surprising them with his sudden arrival. In a surprising move, JJ inadvertently helped police locate him by bringing a second phone registered in his name with him to Las Vegas. Despite this, he tried to avoid detection by asking strangers to use their phones to contact family. Court transcripts reveal JJ's...
See, this is why I say you have to really think about the mindset of these individuals, right? These individuals, they all have the same tone about how they approach people and how they get people who are not even involved in their mess, right? And they literally put you in a situation to incriminate you, right? You would think that, oh, he called his daughters because he loved them and he was thinking about them. No, he called them to get them involved, right? Then you got this girl, Heidi, you got her involved. She gets over there, and then you get scared and startled when you realize that she wasn't going to go through and incriminate herself even more by helping you wipe the blood off and cleaning up the Davis's trailer home. And then you're so full of anxiety and stress for what you did that even if she went to the bathroom or she went to go get something to drink, you're running out there butt naked trying to catch her. You trying to grab her out the car and stuff like that. And it's just like all these things that's coming out now about what he's doing, how he's reaching out to his ex-wife or whatever, not trying to say, come pick me up from the airport. Like the entitlement of it all, how you're incriminating people who doesn't have anything to do with it. And he keeps on going and going and going and adding even more family members into this. Like it's really, really crazy and weird, very manipulative, very I can't even put it into words outside of just being manipulative and gaslighting and incriminating other people because you don't want to be accountable for the things that you do. It's quite sad, really. It's quite sad that you say that you love these people. Oh, I love my daughters and I love this person and I love you, Heidi, and all this stuff like that. But then here you are throwing them under the bus or positioning them where they will be thrown under the bus with you. It's quite sad. Joanne said, he's been a mess his whole life. Kid here, kid there, hurting people. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That is the pattern. That is absolutely the pattern. He's been running around using people, manipulating people, especially manipulating the women folk that's in his life. He's been gaslighting them, putting them in harm this whole entire time. And he just keeps on jumping around, including whoever he can include, because he's always been escaping accountability for his decisions his whole entire life. And it's been proven. It's been proven with everything that he's been doing now. It's been proven that that's who he is, not to take responsibility for the things that he does, but everybody's supposed to take responsibility for him.
Attempts to reach out to Heidi at this time, where he expressed a desire to marry her. In one of JJ's attempts to contact family by bothering individuals at a Walmart, police were called. When police approached, JJ fled out the back of the store and spent the night in the desert to evade capture. The next day, while trying to use another person's phone at a convenience store, police were called again, and they successfully apprehended him. After his arrest, JJ expressed frustration with the accusations and charges against him. While in Nevada custody, he is visited by homicide detectives from Anoka County, Minnesota.
What are you doing here?
We want to talk to you about why you're here and stuff. Okay?
I only came out here for family.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. Think you have an idea what's going on a little bit?
Yeah, I'm trying to got a warrant for attempted murder or murder.
Before I ask you any questions, I have to review your rights.
I want to talk to a lawyer, though.
You don't want to talk to us?
I'll talk to you guys, but I want to talk to a lawyer.
Okay. All right. I won't ask you any questions then at all. We're done if you want to talk to us.
Absolutely. You guys didn't have to appoint me one.
Well, that's up to Nye County Jail.
Okay. Oh, yeah, we gotta do it. I mean, I want to give you guys a statement so that you guys know what the hell's going on because I think you guys are being fed a bunch of crap, but anyhow.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
If you want to reach out to us or something, I'll leave you this card.
Yeah, if you got an attorney or something that you're working on, then there's my card.
Do you guys have an attorney that I can talk to? I mean, I'm going back to Nova, right?
I don't know anything about that. I'm just
Who are you guys anyways?
We're just a couple of detectives that are
Yes, homicide detectives?
Well, yeah, we work in Anoka County. We do
All three of you?
we do all sorts of different investigations. We do everything.
Yeah, and I'm catching wind that my ex-girlfriend is running around and talking pretty bad. Don't let that woman out of your sight. Give you that. I can give you that much. So, all right, I guess we're done here, guys.
Despite officers informing him they couldn't question him about the case without his attorney present, as he previously requested, nothing is stopping them from keeping quiet and letting JJ fill the silence with his pleas and potentially vital information.
Glad you just have a seat right there for me, sir. I didn't do what being accused of what's being said about me, I guess.
Well, right now what we're here to do is we're here to execute a search warrant. Sure. So we've got a judge that signed off on that. So
yeah, we're just asking.
Yeah, we're just looking for your cooperation on that.
Yeah, man. Whatever you want from me, I'll give to you.
Yeah.
Now, this is highly normal activity for a person who is a full-blown narcissist, right? A narcissist has to be right, and they always have to have the last word, okay? Even if it's not for their benefit, but they don't care because they like the spotlight on them anyway, right? They have to be the center of attention. They have to be able to be in control of the narrative, and this is exactly what they do. So even though he said that he doesn't want to speak to the detectives, right? He wants to speak to a lawyer, which, mind you, that's in his right. He has every right to do that, right? But what are you doing? You're still now continuously talking, trying to make yourself seem like you're innocent, trying to throw your ex-girlfriend under the bus. Like, you haven't even heard if whether or not if the ex-girlfriend, which is Heidi, right? The one that he had come over to the house and talk about red pineapple. You see what I'm saying? Now, all of a sudden, she was the person, I need you, I need your help, and all the stuff like that. But then here he is talking to the detective. Oh, watch out for that girl. Be careful with that girl. You got to watch out with my ex. Now she's your ex, right? She wasn't your ex before when you was asking her for help. It's somebody I loved before when you was speaking to your daughters, right? But now because you're afraid that she actually pretty much told everything that happened and what you've been doing now is I have to paint her as she's a potential problem and that she's a potential suspect, right? And he will continue to do that, right? All throughout this whole thing, he will continue to do that. This is what narcissists do. You'll see it all the time. But let's go on. Let's hear him try to remove any responsibility or accountability from himself, and it's everybody else's fault, and he doesn't understand what's going on.
Yeah, and then I have one question, sir. I don't mean to interrupt you. How is his family? Dave's my friend.
Yeah, right. Well,
he has two sisters, and how are they?
Yeah, so here's the deal, man. You said that one were present with you while speaking with us. So because of that, I don't even want to discuss the case with you because I don't want to inadvertently ask you any questions without having a legal representation.
I don't even know how this works, man, and I don't mean to interrupt you, sir, with all due respect. I don't know how any of this stuff works. I've never been accused of murder. I've never been involved in any kind of thing like this. And most importantly, especially one of my friends. What do I have to do to clear my name, and what needs to happen? This is the most scariest thing I've ever been through in my entire life.
I agree with you, Hazel. One of the reasons why he got so many people involved to begin with, right?
One person I was a freaking friend of my home part. But what do I have to do? Well, like I said, you asked for an attorney. I mean, can I ask?
No, Joanne.
If you want to waive your right to counsel and speak with me, then I just need to make sure that you fully understand what your rights are. I just want to tell you that when I knocked on Dave's door and Dave said, "Come in," and Dave was freaking alive, he was bleeding, and I think the old man fell and hit his head. We drink vodka, we drink a bunch, but he's hit his head more than one time drinking with me. He'll fall and hit his head and get up. I'm afraid of exactly what's going on right now. The mobile home park manager hates my guts. I can't even call the police. He's got me underneath such a tight freaking restriction that I don't even know what the fuck's going on. He's got this on camera. I'm serious, man.
So again, why is he doing all this talking if he asked for a lawyer? He didn't want to talk to the detectives in the interrogation room, but he's doing all this rambling without a lawyer, and he's trying his best to convince them that, hey, it's everybody else that's involved. This was going on. I don't know what's going on. Trying to paint everybody that could that he reached out to. He's the one who reached out to. He is now trying to paint them as they are the issue and they are the problem. And that is what narcissists do, right? When they go above and beyond to try to convince someone that they're innocent and to berate or belittle someone's character, even though you can find out just by doing a little bit of research, you can find out that they was the one who was reaching out for this person. They was the one looking for that person. He was the one who reached out to his daughters, right? You know, they live in Las Vegas. They don't have nothing to do with this, but you are telling them to call Heidi. Then you leaving messages on Heidi's phone talking about red apple, pineapple, alert, mayday, I need your help, and all that stuff, right? Like, but now when you're locked up and the heat is on you, it's Heidi got something to do with it. My ex-girlfriend, she got a problem or something like that. This and this and that. When you got to pay attention to that, because they do that a lot. They do that a lot.
When I went there, he was bleeding. I tried picking the man up. I tried picking up Dave. He was on the ground, leaning against his refrigerator. I'm like, Dave, come on, man. Don't do this to anybody. Don't fucking die on me, man. They're not going to complain. They're going to trip on me, dude. I tried helping. I asked him, let me call 911, dude. What do you want me to do? He said, let me put me in my bed. Put me in my bed. I'm like, Dave, I can't lay you down. You're going to die, buddy. He's the only friend I got. The old man saved my life, dude. He came to my house on December 30th and he found me. I had a heart attack. And he brought me some blood pressure medication because I was at the verge of having a stroke. I was going through an alcohol detox, and Dave kind of walked me through it. He's been more of a mentor in AA. I feel horrible because I should have called 911, and it's my fault because I didn't. I was scared. I didn't know what to do, man. I panicked. I'd never seen anything like that before in my entire life. I got a bruise right here from holding him up. Like, Dave, come on, man. Fucking die on me, dude. We have the same birthday. I called him the old man and I was scared to call him.
Here come the fake waterworks. Oh my God!
The bastard trick work, man. Paul, that manager's giving me so much shit. He's got me, and he's underneath such a fucking round. My cage has been so rattled from that man. He has harassed me since day one. I can't have any communication, please. Every time I turn around, that man's trying to take my home. Him and the person I used to work for, Steve from Old Maidens. How are his sisters? Huh? I told you, man, I can't talk about the case. I don't know what to say, man. I need to do whatever you guys want. Well, we're here not to question you about anything. We're here because we have a search warrant for your DNA. That's not sit up. And if you want to talk about this stuff, exactly what happened, and I'm willing to cooperate 100%, you know?
So, John, we got to serve this warrant real quick.
Sure.
We're still right here. You're trying to jump all the way to the end. Let us get through this step first, and then we can talk about the step afterwards.
I should have called 911, but I was scared. I was afraid to have contact with the police. Paul's paid me out to be a monster.
John, this is a return of service, okay? This is basically a receipt of all the stuff that we did today. So we took a DNA buckle swab from you. We took photos of you, and we took your property. Property is the list that you came in with.
I just want to make a phone call.
I know, listen.
That's all I've been asking all day long.
John,
Kicking the balls here.
John, the warrant allows us to take the property.
I understand it.
Okay, I'm just letting you know.
I've been super everything, you know, I'm just right now I need my family going to do anything.
I know, John, have I been anything but respectful to you?
No, and vice versa.
In fact, I've been very patient explaining everything to you, right?
Vice versa, right?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is what I'm here for is for the warrant. So I'm explaining to you just to make it completely clear, because the tech thought she heard you say that we're not taking your property till you talk to an attorney. And I'm explaining to you that the warrant allows me to take the property because I have a warrant from the
She
judge.
wants me to sign off on my property so you guys can take it away.
John, I just wanted to explain to you just so that way you understood it. If you're saying like, no, I'm not just giving it to you, I get that. I understand that, okay? Can you hold that for me, please? Okay. It's gonna be set right there.
In court, JJ's defense team argued that David had a history of alcoholism and suicidal ideations, with court documents citing recent medical instances of being held for those issues. They pointed out family admissions of keeping David in his home using their trust fund due to his alcoholism, which hindered his employment after losing his license from a DUI. Family members described David as, quote, it-faced, and that he grows bigger balls while drinking, although he put efforts towards sobriety on and off. All of this was exacerbated by a brain aneurysm requiring surgery and a valve implant that had to be monitored. However, family and close associates of David testified he was not seen as violent and did not initiate physical altercations when drunk, although he was known to be verbally confrontational and cocky. Heidi mentioned a parking dispute involving JJ, David, and the trailer park management, which she quickly resolved by escorting David away from JJ's home. This small altercation might have been a ripple in larger disputes held between JJ and David, but what the fight was over specifically may never be known. On top of that, no alcohol was found at David's residence, suggesting he may not have been drinking before his death. The autopsy, conducted more than 2 days after his death, couldn't definitively determine his alcohol consumption. In contrast, court records revealed JJ had a history of violence and crime, including domestic abuse and theft. Witnesses testified he had at least 8 or 9 drinks on the night in question, strengthening the state's case against him. For this case, JJ, or John Joseph Hare, was charged and found guilty of both second-degree murder, with intent, not premeditated, and second-degree murder, without intent, while committing a felony. His total sentence amounts to 32 years and 7 months in prison, with 419 days of jail credit applied. He must also pay back restitution to David's family through prison wages, totaling roughly $4,000. Under Minnesota law, if JJ follows through with good behavior, he may only have to serve 2/3 of his sentence, or roughly 21 years and 9 months before his release. In this case, he would be released around 2044, at 64 years of age, which is just 2 years older than David at the time of his death.
That is crazy, right? It wasn't first degree murder. It didn't look like first degree murder to me. It looked like it was a manslaughter case. Yeah, I mean, he did serve, justice was served. I just want everybody to pinpoint with that particular one. It was just like, look at all the manipulation that went through in this incident, to the point where we actually had justice served. He involved his daughters from a previous relationship. He involved a girlfriend. He involved other family members, and he literally tried to, skip town because he didn't want to be held accountable. he also said that, you know, he wanted an attorney, but he's sitting up there literally crying and bawling like a freaking canary, telling him everything that went on with his life, everything that has everything to do outside of why is this man David now dead, and your DNA is all over it, and people are confirming that you was the last person there, but it's everything else that's going on in your life that led you to the point where you unalive David. Now, this is not to say that David probably wasn't a loose cannon, right? He could have been a loose cannon, especially if he has been dealing in drugs. He's under medications that could have horrible side effects. If he's also using those medications, drinking alcohol, we know people get liquid courage, right? But they just proved that he didn't even have liquid, or they didn't have alcohol in his system at the time of his death, right? So we don't know, and they said they don't know what really actually started the altercation. I just thought that it was really insane how he did the most to blame everybody, right? And these are the same people that you reached out to for help. But now when the heat is on you more, it's their fault. And then you try to, imply that they were more involved in this situation than they actually really were. And it's just all these type of manipulation processes that people don't understand, right? That you don't even understand how someone is manipulating you, because you're thinking that you're being a good person. You're thinking that you're being supportive. You're thinking that you're trying to support someone that you have a close relationship with, whether it's an actual family member or a friend. And you really don't know that this person can actually be around you because they're trying to manipulate you, and they're trying to use you, or they're trying to get you involved in something to take the heat off of them. And I think that it's quite alarming, especially what he did to his daughters. That was just really crazy to me, but kudos to those younger ladies, even though they sounded like they were a little nervous, laughing and on some goofy tip. But shout out to them for recording that, and and being able to prove that he reached out to them, and that they weren't involved in this, and they knew that something was wrong, because how many people would literally bypass a person in their family, in their family, or a friend, or a family friend. How many people would actually like pass by or not even do something like that? They'll just go along with it. Oh, that's my family and I'm going to hold him down. That's my brother. Like, I look at him as my brother and I'm going to hold him down, whether if he's right or wrong. How many people do that, right? And then they do that because they're trying to be loyal to that relationship, but that motherfucker ain't loyal to you. Excuse my language, but it's the truth. He's not loyal to you. She's not loyal to you. That person is not loyal to you, who will literally put you into bullshit, who will put you into drama, who will really go out their way to mess up your life to protect themselves. And I think that we have to start looking at our relationships and things that, or relations with anyone in that way. Are they doing things that will hurt you, and then they want to dangle the loyalty card in front of your face, right? If you're not loyal to me and you don't stand up on me when I know I'm up here messing up, then that's a mark against your character. We have to start looking at things in this way, and we don't do it too often, and this is why we get caught up in the way that we do, right? So let's see. Joanne says if he owned it, it would have been less time. It would have been more or less time. I think so. I agree, because like I said, I know that it wasn't like he didn't go in there saying, you know what, we're going to just take David out. That's not what happened. Whatever happened, whatever altercation that they have, it could have even been about the parking spot or the parking lot parking situation, because they said that they had arguments before about the parking situation in that little small community. So it could have led to that, and then it went to something else. But he decided to go another route, which is crazy. Tim said, yeah, definitely no mastermind just ruining every life in his path and using his family and friends. Absolutely. Yep. Tim said that's true, that with drinking was still no excuse. Yeah, no excuse. Absolutely. No good deed goes unpunished with these types. Absolutely. Now, Flower, how are you going to say something like that? I do love you. How you doing, Flower? I didn't see you earlier. Shout out to you. I hope your Monday's going well. Hope your Monday's going well. Don't ever say that again, Flower. You've been such a good trooper in here. I appreciate you. Yeah, they do. They absolutely do drag you into their bullshit all the time. Men and women, they will do it, right? And they will sit up there and say that you're not loyal if you don't go along with it. That is manipulation. And a lot of people think that manipulation only happens with people from the outside who really don't know you, like strangers and stuff. No, it's usually the people who are really close to you who manipulate you the most, right? Because they use whatever relationship or whatever feeling or whatever connection you have with them, they use that against you. They use that against you to get over on you and to put you into situations. It's crazy. You got to just have to be careful and be mindful. He says, talking about him when family won't lie for it. Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly. And they really do believe that. They really do believe that. All right, guys. So I told you this one was going to be a real short one. But before we go, new case added to the docket, ladies and gentlemen. This is going on right now today. It's Florida versus Jermaine Bass. So Jermaine Bass unalived his children, I think a year ago in Florida. And I want y'all to understand this case first, and then later on we'll keep tabs on it, because today was day one of the trial of Jermaine Bass, and it's all over the news right now. So you can go to Court TV or whatever not, and if you could watch it, because it was happening this morning. But just in case, if you don't know the case, I'm going to show a little clip it so you can understand what we would be following going forward on this channel. So let me pull this up. Yes, Moa, it is always in your circle. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me pull this up for you guys, and then we're going to look at it. And yeah, here we go.
A heartbreaking story in Hillsborough County as a 5-year-old little girl is now dead and an 8-year-old little boy is now fighting for his life after their own father turned a gun on them late last night. Hillsborough County Sheriff Chad Chronister says it all happened at the Armature Gate townhomes in North Tampa late Monday evening. He said around 10:30, a mother returned home to say goodnight to her 2 children, a 5-year-old little girl and an 8-year-old little boy. He said she kissed them both goodnight and went to use the bathroom. That's when she heard gunshots ring out. She told detectives the gunshots sounded close, so she ran outside to figure out what was going on. Her neighbor had already called 911. That's when her husband ran outside holding their 8-year-old son in his arms, telling them to call for help. When law enforcement arrived on scene, the little boy was transported to Tampa General Hospital. They asked the father if anyone else was inside. That's when they also found the 5-year-old little girl.
The husband says my 5-year-old daughter's upstairs sleeping. Deputies go upstairs only to make the gruesome discovery that there's a 5-year-old laying in a top bunk, laying in a pool of her own blood. She is shot 2 to 3 times in her head.
Now, both children were shot in the head 2 to 3 times. The father, Jermaine LaVonda Bass, offering no explanation except saying that he had accidentally shot his son. He's currently facing several charges, including first-degree murder and attempted first-degree murder. Sheriff Chronister says HCSO had never been called out to this address in the past, and Bass had no prior criminal history. Now, as for that 8-year-old little boy, we're told he underwent surgery last night after arriving at the hospital. Like I said, he had been shot 2 to 3 times in the head, and today he's still fighting for his life in critical condition. We'll keep you updated. Elizabeth Fry, Fox 13 News.
All right, so I wanted to show you that so y'all understand how this is playing out right now. Like that shooting, that Tampa shooting happened, I think, a year ago, right? No, matter of fact, it happened in 2022, so 3 years ago. But today is trial 1. Today is trial 1 for Jermaine Bass, because he's keeping up the defense that he accidentally shot his 8-year-old and that he didn't commit the crime for the 5-year-old girl. But the funny thing about it is there is no traces of anybody else's DNA or anything in that house when and then the mom had just literally put those kids to bed, and you're the husband and you're there, and then you run out with your son, you know, saying help, 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 help. So to me, what it really looks like was he tried to unalive his kids by the first shot, and the mom went outside to see where the shots was coming from, and eventually she was going to go upstairs and realize that one of the children was unalive, that he pretended that someone shot outside, carried the 8-year-old boy, and ran outside screaming, talking about, oh my God, my child, my child, my child. So this is why there is a trial, right? This is why there's a trial, because now it's about to prove whether or not if he actually did it. And it's hard because, like I said, he doesn't have no criminal history, but that doesn't mean that he ain't lose his fucking goddamn mind. And you have to lose your mind if you unaliving your children in that way. I think they're going to also lead into whether or not if there was at one point that the mother was going to file divorce, or they was going to separate, if that's the reason why he attacked his children. But this whole thing is quite disturbing to me. It's very disturbing to me when you hear that parents are unaliving their children and doing horrible things to their children, right? And it makes you wonder, why did you even want children to begin with if you was going to put them through this much torture, pain, and you know, and then also a short-lived life, right? That the only thing that they know or was actually just horrible things and not great things or beautiful things or the love and the support that they were supposed to. Why even have them, right? Why even have them? And this is why sometimes I hate when people advocate for people to have children when there's a lot of people that should not be having children. There's a lot of people who should not be parents, right? They shouldn't be parents. They shouldn't. And I just don't think that you know that we should be positioning people to think that they should be having children like freaking candy, like or getting something out of a vending machine, knowing that they're not well, they're ill, or they don't have no good intentions for these children, right? Because just bringing a life into this world is only the beginning. It doesn't even cover the beginning surface of the whole plan of this whole thing that we call life and having family and legacy, right? That's the easy part, right? That's the easy part. But taking care of your children, raising them well, showing them love and support, and making them be outstanding individuals that they can pass that on, that takes a lot of work. A lot of work, and we could tell that a lot of people in this world don't want to do that work, and they don't have it in them, right? So I don't advocate for that. I don't advocate for a bum, excuse my language, but a bum bitch and a bum nigga to have children. I don't advocate for that. I would rather you not have children and just go out there and be selfish and do what you have to do, you know what I'm saying, and not involve little precious souls into this madness, you know? There's more than enough things that can fuck up their life, or them even potentially fucking it up their life. They don't need other people who's supposed to be the guardian of their life doing that for them in the beginning. It really does sicken me. It really does. You're absolutely right, Flower. It sickens me. It sickens me. It sickens me. But we're going to be catching up on that. We're going to be following that case. I'm sorry, guys. I know that some of y'all was surprised that I came on early. Normally, I do try to come on at 2 o'clock, 2:45. But like I said, I have a very, very long day. I told you that I'm under a new assignment and I'm doing a lot of transitioning. So I try to make sure that I keep my word and bring out some content for you today. I will try to come back on Wednesday to do it. But now I have to get ready. I got a 12-hour shift. 12-hour shift. Your girl about to do a 12-hour shift. So I got to get ready and head into work. But I want y'all to enjoy the rest of your afternoon, evening, or morning. Shout out to all you good folks of the algorithm. Be safe. Take care of your loved ones. And I will see you guys on the next one. I truly appreciate you all who stopped by. All right? Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.